So this piece is written for my best friend, Courtney, even though she's not here. For now I am 6 and I'm clever as clever. I think I'll stay 6 forever and ever. At 6, I was a voracious reader. At 6, my great-grandmother took me by the hand, tucked me into bed in my attic bedroom in the creaky old house my great-grandfather built with his own 2 hands and settled in to read me a bedtime story. I took the book from her and read it. My grandma was heartbroken and thrilled. She bragged about it with a sad, brave little smile. Her granddaughter, all grown up. 20 years later, I only remember one line of the book. I'm a meat-eating dinosaur and you're meat. At 6, I was a voracious reader. I read under the desks at school and under the covers after lights out. Where my parents confiscated my flashlight, I would lie on my stomach in the doorway to my room and read by the light filtering up through the banister from downstairs. I often fell asleep on the floor, woken by my parents hours later when they went to bed. At 6, I was a voracious reader. I filled my plate with C.S. Lewis and Barbara Robinson and Madeleine L'Engle. I devoured J.R.R. Tolkien and Hans Christian Andersen and Bruce Coble and Enid Blyton. I had seconds of Jane Yolen and Lynn Reed Vance and Mark Twain. I lapped up language and ate allegory. I slurped simile and mixed metaphor. At 6, I discovered the joy of being taught through story, the wonder of knowing through magic, of learning through wordplay, of living vicariously a life of reckless adventure. At 6, I discovered islands free of parents, and castles full of knights, and animals that talked, and harps that sang, and trees that walked in, and all these glorious, wonderful things I found taught me how to live in this broken and imperfect world, and perhaps more importantly, how to live as a broken and imperfect person. And at 6 years old, I was taught a lesson which resonates today. I was taught by a girl a little older than me that I could forgive my siblings for anything they did. It didn't matter if they stole my Halloween candy or spilled paint on my sheets or betrayed me to a wicked queen who magically forced the world around her into icy darkness, who made it always winter but never Christmas. I could forgive them. And at 7 years old, I learned from an orphan page boy that giving up what you desire most is sometimes what a knight is called to do. And at 8 years old, I was taught that sometimes the smallest among us can change the world, that true bravery is not being scared. It's doing it anyway. Because hobbits, even after you've known them for a while, they can still surprise you. And at 9 years old, I was taught about true love by a spoiled, selfish princess who slipped her prince's arm around her shoulders and stopped him when he tried to stand up straight. You're going to be leaning on me for the rest of your life. You'd better get used to it. And I was taught true love by a scullery boy who had become a king when he let his princess take his weight. And at 11 years old, I was taught by a bossy know-it-all that magic comes from within. And you should love in spite of your accomplishments, but also in spite of your failures. Books and cleverness, there are more important things. And at 25 years old, I still learn. I learned to never resist a perfect moment. I learned we need to believe in the little lies we tell ourselves, like fairy godmothers and Father Christmas, to believe in the big lies, like justice and mercy, and without those lies, we can't stay human. I learned that losing the person you love most will crush you. No matter how strong you think you are, I learned never to trust a fairy's gift. I learned that love sits and waits for you to trip over it. I learned to let myself be vulnerable. And I just might live happily ever after. Thank you very much.